Hard Knocks finally over. The snooze fest that it was, in my opinion. 5 episodes of snoozing. Probably one of the most boring, slow-paced Hard Knocks we've seen, in my opinion.
I agree.
I don't know. What do you guys think?
I just don't. There's just not a lot of excitement with the Bears. Like
Yeah.
and even Caleb Williams, like, yeah, first pick of the draft, great in college, still didn't win anything. I don't know. It's an odd character.
Yeah.
I just don't think there's a whole lot of excitement on the Bears, and they're just trying to get some hype around them. And I don't know, but who knows? He could end up being good, and they win 9 games this year.
Well, and my thing with him is, and again, we talked about this last week. You're only judging him on a very small amount of you know clips in a small docu series, but it just seems like when he's in these meetings with the coaches or the head coach one-on-one, he just seems so uninterested.
Yeah, I don't know if that's just his personality or if that's I don't know. It's hard to tell, but I feel like being an NFL quarterback, you can't be like a quiet kind of like you can't carry yourself like with all the swagger that he has and then just not be a very vocal leader and like a demanding leader in the NFL, I feel like. But
Yeah.
we'll see. We'll see what happens. 0-16 would be awesome.
Wouldn't that be? It wouldn't be all bad. It'll be interesting to see. I think just think about this: the USC college game, the game versus LSU. Like they look like a totally different team. Now their defense is way better.
Yeah.
100 times better coach, probably. Maybe a better system, whatever. But obviously, you're taking a quarterback who sat behind Caleb Williams for the past 2 years, maybe 3, looked just fine.
Yeah.
Caleb Williams, I think, has just an extreme talent, but that didn't help them win, games at USC.
Right.
And you almost wonder how that's going to transpose it for the Bears. Like, again, probably oodles of talents coming out of that kid, and you wonder how that's going to, if he's not doing all these little things, does that really form into a Hall of Fame NFL career?
Yeah. And then speaking of the quarterback situation, that was a big feature on episode 5. What they were going to try to decide to do with the remaining 3 other quarterbacks that were on the roster for camp. I guess I didn't realize that they were until last night's episode, they were actually deciding, do we want to keep 2 or 3? I thought the standard was you have a backup quarterback and a third string quarterback. But I guess nowadays, or some teams, they actually keep 2, and then the third is actually practice squad. So, I mean, to me, that seems a little risky. Your starting quarterback goes down, let's say, and now you've got 1 quarterback for the rest of the game.
Yeah, especially if he's not. I feel like there's not a huge gap between second and third string. So, like, what if the guy comes, like, say Caleb gets hurt early in the game, and then the backup is just terrible?
Yeah, that too.
Like, you might as well give somebody else another shot to.
You got no other. Yeah,
like
you got no other option because the practice quarterback's not eligible to play in a game.
Yeah, that.
Well, is that what you really got to do? Make sure you have an emergency quarterback on your roster, somebody else that plays, a different position that can come in case of an injury and basically hopefully just hand the ball off the rest of the game.
Yeah.
But anyway, what'd you guys think? I mean, I guess I went into it thinking Brett Rippon was the clear-cut backup. That went to Badgett. And then, they were deciding between Austin Reed then and Rippon for the deciding if they wanted to keep 3 or go with 2 and then keep one of those guys on the practice squad.
Yeah, I think they made the right call. I feel like Badgett was there last year as well and did okay. So I think that they made the right call there, I think. But I feel like you got to keep both. Yeah. I don't know. I just feel like if you lose Caleb, you're in so much trouble.
Yeah.
Well, that's
So
the thing. I don't think you could keep then two really unproven.
That was
You
yeah.
know, that's
So
it. And I
so
didn't go ahead.
no, go ahead. Finish what you're gonna say.
Well, I think in their case, they're thinking, hey, if Caleb does go down, is there got to be somebody out there who's got just a little more experience we can rely on instead of throwing another kid to the fire.
Yeah.
You know, it looks like with the quick research I just did, if it's correct, 12 teams have kept three quarterbacks. Everybody else has gone either their third one is injured, so they're not on the
Yeah.
playlist right now, or they went to a practice squad. So
Yeah.
must be a more common thing to move that third one to a practice squad and
Yeah.
kind of roll the dice week
Yeah.
by week, maybe.
Well, and then the other thing then they were that they were talking about kind of to factor into the decision. Do we keep Rippin on the practice squad? Because then at least we have a quarterback with a few years of experience. If not, if we let him go, now we've got our starting quarterback is a rookie. Our backup quarterback is a rookie, or no, a second year, and then our practice squad Reed then is a rookie. So you got two rookies and a guy with only 2 years experience. So they ended up offering the spot to Rippin. And the way it works is you got 24 hours to see if somebody else picks you up. And the Vikings ended up contacting his agent, and he wanted to stay with the Bears, but and he wanted to do the practice squad role. But if the Vikings were going to offer him a 53-man roster spot, he obviously was going to take it, and that's what happened. So so then Austin Reed slides back in, and now he's the practice squad quarterback. So they literally have a rookie quarterback, a second year backup, and then their third quarterback practice squad guy is also a rookie.
And bad news if someone goes down. So
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So I thought too, like with the Bears, and I guess if I think back on all the other hard knocks, it does seem like the GM does end up being the one that, does the cuts. So there was a lot of cuts that they showed this year compared to the last couple of years. So that was kind of interesting. And yeah, it was the GM doing all the cuts. For the most part, the assistant GM is the one that cut Austin Reed, but then obviously they ended up bringing him back as practice squad. But I thought it was pretty interesting to see how many coaches they have in this conference room trying to make these decisions, you know, and then it's all led by the GM, not the head coach. The GM is the one that says, here's how many guys we want at each position, and then they kind of talk it out. So I thought that was pretty interesting.
Yeah, the one cut was a little funky though, I thought.
I know what one you're talking about.
Where the dude was like crying before he even said anything. It's like, why are you cutting him then if it hurts you this much? I don't know if that
hey,
player was like
it's a
veteran.
business, fellas. It's a business.
Well, yeah, if it's a business, then you should just go in there stone cold and just sorry, buddy. Like, see ya. Rather than like sit there and cry, and then like the guy sitting there like, I already know you're gonna cut me, so just do it.
That's the thing. Yeah, for the most part, it is kind of seemed like they come in, they sit down, the GM, hey, we're gonna release you. But with this one, it was Adrian Colbert.
Yeah. So is he a veteran or something, or is he like
Yeah,
has he been around?
he must have been. But that was so awkward. It seemed so fake.
Yeah, they didn't say anything for a while, and he's just crying.
He got the GM when he walked in. The GM had to get up and walk away from the table.
No, but dude, just do it. Like, rip off the Band-Aid, you know?
If I'm a player, I would be like, this dude's putting this on. Just, we know why I'm here. Let's just get this over with. I don't need your, you know, crying and making it look like this is so hard for you, which it is. But
Yeah.
like, come on.
Unless
Awkward.
they had like a past relationship where they've kind of been boys for a while or whatever, like somehow linked up throughout his career, which I would understand it makes that much more difficult. But if it's kind of a fresh relationship between the two, it shouldn't be.
Yeah,
It shouldn't be like that.
it was weird.
Yeah.
And then I guess our Big Mo, anything else you got?
No, I didn't. I didn't watch the show.
Okay, you didn't
I
miss.
couldn't tune in, and in all honesty, just like you guys mentioned, it just never drew me in where I like
Yeah,
the other Hard Knocks previously have all been able to like just draw you in, like
yeah,
you want to know what's next, and I didn't have that same feeling.
yeah. No,
It didn't have that at all.
no. But then the last episode with showing a handful of cuts, which I feel like the last few seasons necessarily haven't done a lot of that. But speaking of cuts, one more notable cut here, and then we'll end the Hard Knocks. Theo Benedict, the guy from Canada, the guy that wore the in the rookie show, did the Speedo, American Eagle Speedo. They did let him go, but then did re-sign him to the practice squad. So that was kind of a notable cut as well. So
Hey, and I will just to add, because obviously I didn't watch it, but I was just um, had someone send me a message here. The Colbert, the one
yeah,
that was cut. I don't know
yeah,
if you remember previously, he was the one that got hit by a car when he was younger,
yeah,
and then was in
Oh,
a coma for 2 weeks, and was
yeah,
told like he was never going to walk again.
right,
He's 30. He's 30 years old, so it's been a tough journey to get to the NFL. So
yeah.
maybe that was a little bit the draw of tough to cut a guy like that because he's worked so hard, but
Well,
it's
yeah, yeah.
still a business.
It is. Yeah, yeah. I mean, he seemed like a really great guy, but there's a lot of great guys. So
Yeah. All right.
Makes you feel for him a little bit though.
Yeah, definitely.
Just the journey.
yeah.
Yep.
So anyway, let's wrap up Hard Knocks Chicago Bears 2024 with a bold prediction. How many wins the Bears are going to get this year?
Oh, it's 17 games now, right?
Yeah, 17 games. Again, they're in they're NFC North, so they got 2 games against the Lions, 2 games against the Packers, 2 games against the Vikings. Um, I'll go. And last year they were 7-10.
You're going 5.
You're gonna go 5, so you're gonna say worse than last year?
Yeah, 5.
5?
I'm with Trent. I just counted them up. They can't get more than 5.
Yeah.
Titans,
Yep.
maybe the Colts,
Yep.
Panthers,
Yep.
maybe the Cardinals or the Commanders. Then they're going to beat the Patriots, and then they end with Vikings will be interesting, but then they end with Lions, Niners, Vikings, Lions, Seahawks, Packers.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I don't.
All right. Well, I'm gonna say I like where you're at with the 5, but I'm gonna say they are gonna sneak one more out. They're gonna beat the Vikings both times, I think.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go 6, which is crazy because
What if McCarthy was playing?
what's that?
What if McCarthy was playing?
Then I would go split. So
All
I'm
right.
gonna go 6. Which is crazy because you would hope with the signing of Keenan Allen and allegedly upgrade at quarterback. I guess we'll see. I don't know. You would hope they get, but I do think they last year getting the 7 wins. I think that was a little bit of a. I think they outkicked their coverage with the 7 wins. I don't think they were really a 7-win team last year.
Yeah.
But all right, that'll wrap up Hard Knocks 2024. 5 episodes. We did a recap on all 5.